Now, there's several different ways of citing material. MLA, which stands for Modern Language Association, is the one that is used in English courses and any other humanity courses. So style that you're going to be most familiar with. Okay. However, it is important to realize that other classes you take here at Jackson State and other schools will use other styles. For example, APA is the second biggest one, and this is used in the sciences. The third largest one is Chicago style, which is used in some history courses, but it's starting to lose favor. Additionally, there are other citation styles which are out there that are used for more specific purposes, but these are the big three. The main thing to know, though, is for English, for this course, we'll be using MLA. And you have a handbook that goes along with the course that talks about all three of these citation methods in great detail. So, what happens if you plagiarize anyway? Well, nothing good. First of all, you're going to get caught. And we're going to talk about how you get caught. You get to kind of see a little bit of behind the scenes as far as how teachers catch plagiarizers. One way is through information you could not possibly know without a source. For example, if you had this sentence within your essay, Tennessee ratified the 14th Amendment in 1866 and hence avoided military reconstruction. Well, that first part is a verifiable fact, right? That would be something that you would have to have looked up. And the conclusion is a valid conclusion. However, it's something that some people might disagree with. But this is probably not information you're going to know off the top of your head. This is information that you probably have looked up. And as such, you need to give credit to it. So if you're using information that you could not possibly know without a source, obviously you're going to need a citation for it. You're going to need an in-text citation for when you give the information, and you're going to need an entry on the works cited page. Now there is an exception to this rule, and this is what we call the common knowledge exception. And this refers to facts that can be found in numerous places and are likely to be known by a lot of people. For example, John F. Kennedy was elected President of the United States in 1960. This is a verifiable fact. We don't have to cite it because it is something that we consider information that is commonly known by a great number of people. Even if you yourself don't know it, if it's considered a sort of a major historical event or like information that could be found in a plethora of encyclopedic sources, you don't have to cite it. Now, if the source we used was to draw some sort of conclusion from that, like make some sort of assumption like the previous one, we would have to cite it because it would have an opinion attached to it. There's no real opinion on this, though. There's not people who disagree. There's no one out there saying, well, I think John F. Kennedy was elected president in 1981. No, it's not a fact that's in dispute. It's pretty solid, right? So common knowledge sources you don't need to cite. Another way that you can get caught is when you use language that does not sound like you. If I saw a sentence like this in a freshman composition essay, recipient is prohibited from perpetuating discrimination on the foundation of a disability in any program or activity of a subrecipient. A little red flag is going to go off in my head saying, does this writer normally talk this way? And if I'm looking back through their previous work and I see that they're not using language that looks like this, well, I'm going to have cause to suspect this. Because if the language does not sound like you, it probably isn't written by you. Margin or font shifts in a paper. For example, let's say I'm reading along and all of a sudden there's a bit of text where suddenly the spacing changes for no apparent reason. Everything gets indented, or the text is in a different font or a different font size. It's a clear indication that somebody has copy-pasted something into their paper, and the formatting of the online text, or whatever text it was, changed when they pasted it into their paper. There have been cases where people have actually copy-pasted articles from Wikipedia and still included the Wikipedia links within the paper. Yeah, again, the red flag is going to go off, and I'm going to be suspicious and start really digging to see if the work was plagiarized. So, kind of summary. Information you could not possibly know, language that does not sound like you, margin or font shifts, or information that is only loosely connected to the topic, like all of a sudden you start going off on some weird tangent for no apparent reason. It's going to make your teacher suspicious. But you know what the easiest way I find to identify plagiarism is? This. Google. If I see a sentence in there that I'm suspicious about, I'm going to copy-paste a few words of my own into a Google search, and I'll find where you got it from. And you'd be surprised how easy it is. It's not difficult for teachers to find plagiarism. So don't do it.